everybody. I'm here with Jay Baer, famous social media expert, globally known as at Jay Baer. Hi. Can you tell me exactly what you do for a living?
Sure. So I do social media strategy consulting. So I work with a lot of agencies, public relations firms, advertising agencies, and corporations, helping them sort of figure out what an overall social media strategy looks like, how to integrate social media with other elements of their marketing that maybe they're already doing, email marketing, print advertising, things like that, and how to listen to the conversation, how to find what customers are saying about them online, and how to appropriately respond to those conversations, either through customer service or some other initiative.
Yeah, isn't that a problem? Like, what people don't know how to use social media these days?
Well, it's certainly, social media is certainly an industry that's moving very, very quickly. I mean, literally every day something happens to sort of change what's going on in that industry. So there's a lot of companies that are really looking at social media from sort of a tools-based perspective. So, hey, what should we do on Twitter, or what should we do on Facebook, or what should we do with a blog? And that's really the wrong question to ask. As an organization, what you want to know is, how are we going to be social, right? What sort of relationship do we want to have with our customers? And then the tools will really take care of themselves. But because everybody's sort of in this, well, we got to get on it, we got to get on it, we got to get on it, they're just sort of going and sort of jumping on board without really having a good idea about why they're jumping on board. So I think this year we're going to see a lot more companies take a more long-term approach and a more measured approach and say, okay, this needs to be part of our marketing the same way that email is part of our marketing, and that means we need to have a budget, that means we need to have success metrics, that means we need to have accountability and all those kind of things. Sort of no longer just sort of experimenting, but treating it seriously.
As a strategic contact point. Okay. We're here at the Email Evolution Conference in Miami Beach. The weather is really nice.
This could be like in Pittsburgh, or it could be, this is not really Miami Beach, unfortunately.
But my question will be, what are you doing here? Why are you here speaking on an Email Evolution Conference?
It's a good question. My background is actually in email and digital marketing. So I come at social media from sort of a digital marketing background. And so I've been involved with the EEC, with the organization, for years, since it first started. I was one of the roundtable chairs for the EEC for a long time. My former agency built the EEC website, so I know a lot of those people. And some of my clients actually are in the email industry.
No, but my question, of course, is how does social media influences email marketing in 2010 and beyond?
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I sort of gravitated to social media. I really feel like in a lot of ways, email and social media are the same thing, right? It's just, social media is just another way, the way email is, to develop highly personalized, contextually relevant relationships with your customers. And you think about a Facebook page. What really is a Facebook page other than sort of a new way to do an email newsletter, right? Keep your brand top of mind, interact with your customers. So there's been a lot of talk about sort of email versus social media. You've maybe seen people say, well, social media is going to kill email, those kind of things, and that's just ridiculous. I think there's a lot more similarities between social and email than there are differences. And in fact, one of the things I said in my workshop today was that companies need to take their email department and their social media department and make them one group. The email folks not knowing what the social media folks are doing is crazy. It's crazy.
Okay. So what was the smartest question you had today?
Smartest question we had today? That's a good question. Other than questions about the constant...
Did you have any questions?
The fire alarms that we had, that was interesting. Between the rain and the fire alarms, it's been a strange day. Questions, I think there's some questions about people, right? So how do you, as a company, figure out policies and procedures for how to interact socially to make sure that your organization doesn't accidentally get in hot water? I mean, when you say, look, everybody who works for this company can, to some degree, impact the perception of that company because of what they do in social media, it's a little frightening. It is, because this idea of you have a company spokesperson doesn't really work very well anymore in social media. Everybody is a spokesperson in theory. So how do you put together a corporate governance program to make sure that there are some, not rules, because rules don't work very well, but certainly guidelines to make sure that something crazy doesn't happen to your company? There's a lot of questions about that. It was good.
Okay. Finally, to wrap it up, what are your 3 tips for the viewers to interact email marketing with social media? Yeah. Do you have 3
Sure.
giveaways?
Absolutely. The first thing is make sure, and this sounds obvious, but there was a study recently that said that 61% of corporate email newsletters don't have any link to the company's social media outlets, right? So if you actually have a Twitter account, maybe you should let people know that in your email. That would be the obvious step 1. Step 2 would be to use clickstream data from your email to help inform your social media and vice versa. You see a lot of ESPs now having share with your network sort of social forwarding tools built into the email. You can use that data to say, okay, let's say we have 50,000 subscribers to our email. Let's create a sub-list of the 1,800 that shared this content on Facebook and Twitter, and then treat them as a list segment and give them different content. The third thing is, in most cases, well, probably every case, you're probably going to publish more frequently in social media than you will in your email, right? You'll put content onto Facebook or onto your blog or whatever more frequently than you will your email. So what I'm seeing some companies do is really interesting, is take content, ideas and pieces of content, put it into Facebook, for example, see which of those pieces of content gets the most engagement, and then whichever gets the most engagement, you take that and put it into your email, right? So you're essentially using social media as a content test for your email newsletters, which I think is pretty interesting.
I think that's the greatest tip of today.
That's cool.
Thank you very much, Jay. Enjoy your conference. Bye-bye.
Thanks.